Alright, I'll edit this out. Video's looking crispy. There's a big pole right beside me, and I don't know how this is going to turn out, but maybe a little closer. Alright. There we go. This video. Man, sometimes I'm off, sometimes I'm on. I don't really feel on today. But I gotta push through. This video is going to be about sobriety and self-awareness. And the more sober you get, the more self-aware you become. Because if you're drinking all the time, you're doing whatever that you're addicted to, it's going to be very tough for you to, well, just think not only just clearly, but think positively, think about the future, think about your daily habits. It's going to be extremely difficult to break all those down, and it's going to get to the point where the only thing you think about is either Thursday night or Friday night. And it's going to be a constant cycle of you just doing the bare minimum of life, trying to get to basically the weekend. So when it comes to sobriety and self-awareness, the number one thing is in about, if you get sober for, say for example, 3 months, like 90 days, you're going to look back at your drinking over the past how many years, months you've been doing it, and you're going to want to drink, not because of the physical craving, but because how cringe you were. Because you weren't self-aware and you made a fool of yourself. And you're going to replay all of the embarrassing things, all of the embarrassing things you said, all of the situations you put yourself through, all of the situations you put yourself in, because you weren't self-aware and you were in a delusional state of addiction and or like a bad habit. And you don't realize these things until you get sober, because when you get sober, you actually think about the reality of the situation and not the delusional mindset of your brain being hijacked by a certain substance. There's a sick house right there. I'll show you after, but yeah. This video is kind of going to be a little over the place, but I just want to get something out there when it comes to self-awareness. Yeah. It's crazy how delusional your thinking could get the longer you do it. Oh, that's another thing that I wanted to say. Like, the longer that you drink and use, the more delusional you're going to get over time and how reality works. So if you think that you're drinking for like a couple of years and you think that you're off a little bit and you think that your thinking's off a little bit when you sober up, could you imagine what it would be like drinking for like decades and then like being sober for like 6 months? You're gonna feel great, but mentally you're probably gonna be in absolute fucking hell, because you're gonna look back and be like, holy shit, how bad I fucked up my whole life. It's very sad. That's why a lot of people who are old, I think it's better to push through the pain now instead of holding off the pain, because getting sober is going to require you to go through a lot of pain, and it's either going to be at the front end or the back end. Front end of maybe you can catch this when you're younger and you don't have to basically go through your whole life in a delusional state of mind, and you can actually deal with reality. But if you get sober when you're older, you've been drinking for 10, 20 years, you've been living with literally a delusional mind for 10, 20 years. And how much time is it going to take to fix all of those problems that you caused living with your delusional mindset? That's why I feel like this message is super important to people in their 20s, even their early 30s, that if they can nail this down and kind of get help now, instead of pulling it off through your 40s, your 50s, your life might be ruined by then, by this shit. Not kidding. Irreparable. Irreparable. If you get a DUI and you hit someone and they get hurt, irreparable. You know? It's not a game. And that's why the self-awareness part is extremely important, because if you're not consciously aware and you're just living in this clouded state of mind induced by drugs and alcohol and other bad habits, you're never going to get clarity on your life to actually fix the problems. Sobriety is just instead of complaining and basically being passive on your problems, it's just literally having the self-awareness to solve your problems. Because that's what it comes down to. Life comes down to just solving problems, being solution-oriented. And the last thing you do when you're drinking, using anything like that, is being solution-oriented. You're coping-oriented. It's just a cope. Don't like where you live. Don't like your job. Don't like your friends. Don't like your family. Drink, 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 drink. You know what I mean? But sobriety, you clear it up and be like, okay, how do I solve these things? How do I get a new job? How do I get a better better living situation? How do I get, how do I meet people who are a little bit more, into the same interests as I am and not just like at the bar, like people you just meet at the bar or at the club or just like at parties and shit. They aren't your friends. I guarantee you if something went really, really wrong in your life, you called them up, they ain't coming. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that self-awareness is probably one of the most important aspects of this. Because it's going to give you the solution-oriented view of the world in order to fix your problems instead of being passive against it. Or, passive against them. Because you have a problem, you could just drink over it and you could forget about it. Why do you think people have the same job for 10, 20 years that they hate? And they drink to cope because, or they eat to cope because it's like when you're eating, when you're drinking, when you're using drugs, you're not even here, like you forget. So it's like Friday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, pain, 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 pain. Just get the Friday, just get the Friday, just get the Friday, boom. Friday through Sunday, you're not even here. Same cycle repeats itself on Monday. But when you get sober, and you don't have that crutch anymore, and you don't have that escape, you have to deal with the problem, and you have to deal with the reality of the situation. And it's either you complain about it, or you find a solution. But you're not even going to get to that point if you don't stop. You know what I mean? You're not even going to get to that point if you don't become self-aware and stop. You know? So, yeah, just a short little message today. I feel like it was super important. I'm going to get better at the editing and shit. But, yeah. Next week, it's going to be the actual process of, this is going to be a deep one, of how if you continue to use alcohol, it's going to literally be over the course of years a demonic possession that's going to take your soul, and it's going to ruin not only your life but everyone around you's life, everyone around your vicinity's life, and it's not going to stop. And that's going to be like kind of like, I don't want it to be like scary or shit, but it's happened. I've seen it happen in my own eyes. I've seen it happen with countless examples. You're going to become, you see how this is like, these videos are progression, so it's like the consequences of it, the solution to it, and then what happens if you don't stop, and then what happens if you do stop. So that'll be like in 2 weeks to what happens if you do stop. If you don't stop, this is what's going to happen. It's a life of pain, suffering, and just demonic activity. This is the reality of the situation. You could have, and it's not even that, like, you could have money, you could have anything. You'll just be at a higher level of problems. It's not like it's gonna escape you. You know? So, that'll be next week's video. Yeah, I'm just gonna do one video a week now. until I really get a grasp on everything, and then I'm gonna add in the fashion stuff, and then I'm gonna add in the motivation mindset stuff, and I might do gym vlogs. I don't know. I don't want to be a gym type of person. Gym's super important to me, but I don't want to be that type of. I don't like that lane. You know what I mean? I don't like that lane. I don't think it's a lane for me. I think it's cool with other people. To be honest with you, I'll be straight up with you. I think that if you're under 6 foot, I don't think you should become like well, you can do whatever you want. Fuck me, you know. If it makes you happy, it makes you happy. But if you're like under 6 foot, and you're like trying to like go to the gym, like gym all the time, like, dog, it's okay. Like I'm 5'9", you know, it's okay. You're 5'9", it's okay, dude. You don't have to be like roid raged out. You don't have to be a meatball. Like, dude, it's okay. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, that's how my opinion about it. I think big dudes, like dudes who like are like 6 foot, like 6'2", and they get into the gym, I think it's fucking sick. Because they're like bigger, like it's meant for them, you know? It's like super dope because it's rare. But if you're like 5'9", like I am, 5'10", and you're like trying to get like massive in the gym, and you're just like, oh, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go to the gym. It's like, dude, calm down, yo. You're 5'9", 5'10", dog. It's okay. Come on, it's gonna be good. You're gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Like, you just see those dudes who are like 5'9", they're like 190 pounds, and they're just like walking around like a meatball. I don't want to do that, yo. Like, I don't care that much about the gym that much. I just think I do it more for my mental health, and it's going hard as fuck. And I have goals, and I want to get stronger, but it's not like my big. It's like one of my big things, but it's not my passion, you know. So, but it's something I enjoy it. It's fun. I go every day. I just don't want to be that guy who's like, you know what I mean, like the bodybuilder. I like bodybuilders. I think it's super dedicated, and it's like super like dedication and influencers. But dude, if you're over 6 foot, I think it's sick because it's like it's rare. You know what I mean? It's like Arnold. It's like he's massive. You know. So that's my thing about the gym. Sorry about that rant, but we'll get to it. Deuces.